Hi, this is Nicole from Renursing EDU, and today we're going to talk about nurse practitioner job saturation. So I know this is a subject that a lot of nurse practitioner students and new nurse practitioners don't want to talk about, but I think it's super important that we do talk about this so others can be educated and learn about the profession that they want to get into in the future, potentially want to get into in the future. So I've been a nurse practitioner since 2014, and back in 2014, it took me 6 months to get my first nurse practitioner job. As of now, what I'm reading on different forums and different boards is that nurse practitioner students who have graduated are taking years, sometimes 1 year, sometimes more than 1 year, sometimes they just go back to working as an RN to actually find a job as a nurse practitioner, and I think it's super sad. So you spend all this time, you spend all this money, you put in all this effort to get an advanced practice degree, and you can't even use it because of the oversaturation in the market. So people will say that there's not any oversaturation, and their argument is that if you get on Indeed or any of these other job boards, there's tons of job descriptions and job postings for nurse practitioners. I want to say, well, yeah, okay, that's true. There are tons of opportunities posted that I see as well, but what you don't see is how many applicants there are for each position. So I've been a nurse for a while, been a nurse practitioner for, like I said, 6 years. Well, actually, 7 years in 2021. But maybe about 5 years into being a nurse practitioner, so a couple years ago, I started looking for another position. And I have experience. At that point in time, I was suturing, I had IND experience, did DOT exams, so I had all these extra certifications that would make me stand out from the crowd. And I wasn't getting calls back. Of the few calls I did manage to get back, which is very little, I would speak to the recruiter, and one particular recruiter stood out in particular. When I talked to him, he said he called me back because I had neuro experience from being an RN and working in the neuro ICU. Great, okay, but this is an NP position. The second thing he told me was that he had posted the job and he had to pull the job description down within 24 hours because he had 700 applicants. 700 applicants in less than 24 hours. People, if this doesn't speak of oversaturation, I don't know what does. And it may just be the location I'm in the Houston metro area. You may be able to find a job easier if you want to go rural, but I don't know of a lot of nurse practitioners that want to go to school and then go and live in a rural area to practice. I don't know a lot personally. It may be you may have a better time finding a job as a nurse practitioner now in 2021. But as I said a couple years ago, when I was actively looking for another job as a nurse practitioner with experience, this recruiter told me he had over 700 applicants, and the only reason I got that call back was because I had neuro experience as an RN. So the hard truth is that, yeah, unfortunately, there is a lot of oversaturation in some areas. So I wanted to make this video not only for the people who are in school and who have already graduated, but I really wanted to make this video for people who have not gone to school yet and have maybe considered being a nurse practitioner as a next step in their nursing career. So I just want to let those people know, if you're thinking about becoming a nurse practitioner, you really need to know your own market. You need to ask yourself some questions. Are you willing to move? Are you willing to get extra certifications? Do you already have somebody that you know more than likely is ready to hire you when you graduate? Or do you want to start your own practice? Do you want to live in a rural area? These are all important questions to ask yourself. So in order to not be affected by the oversaturation, some options would be to obviously work in a rural area or to start your own practice. So if you're a nurse practitioner student or thinking about being a nurse practitioner and being an entrepreneur is not something that you ever thought of or something that you ever considered, then I probably wouldn't go to nurse practitioner school. If you are set in your area and aren't willing to move for a job, I probably wouldn't do it. Considering the fact how much people accumulate in student loans and then the inability to pay those student loans off after they graduate. And then, it's sitting on you that you have this master's or doctoral degree, depending on which route you went, and I still can't find a job. So I just wanted to put that out there. 2020 was a crazy year too, and there were a lot of nurse practitioners that were laid off from their jobs. And so that all compounds with this whole situation of oversaturation in the market. So just be very, very careful. Do your due diligence before you go to school. Do your due diligence. If you're already in school, make a plan B. Okay? And plan B can be opening your own clinic, starting another business completely not in nursing, or doing something nursing related that doesn't have to do with your nurse practitioner degree that you have, or, be willing to move. So just start thinking of your plan B, C, D, E, F, whatever. Start thinking about that. If you're in school, if you're out of school right now and you're having trouble finding a job, same thing. So start making plans, figure out what you want to do, and I wish you guys the best of luck. I know it's difficult out there. I wish you guys the best of luck in whatever you decide to do. And if you ever want to reach out to me about my clinical experience, about my experience of being a nurse entrepreneur, business owner, anything like that, feel free to do so. So feel free to leave comments. Feel free to visit me on my website. And if you like this video, please share it with others and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.